years, have you ever been aware somebody's like looking at you and you know, who's that? Eventually the penny drops.
Stays along, don't worry.
Thanks for that.
Thanks very much for coming. My name's Ken. I'm one of the volunteers for Sporting Memories Celtic and Scotland. I've been involved for about 2.5 years now. I started just before the pandemic came on to us. So first I did one training session and the pandemic's hit, and we then moved on to Zoom. So for about 2.5 years we were all involved with Zoom, which was, in a way, it was like you get to know the people from all different parts of the country, because there was people from the east that we would not normally meet that came along to these meetings. So we're now hopefully moving back to, we're going to go face to face now for all of the time. So today is just a wee taster session of what we do in Sporting Memories. Different tables, we'll get replay cards, which we use quite a lot for all the different types of sports, and there's also pictures from the different teams we've got. So I think Celtic, Rangers, Partick Thistle, Clyde as well involved in it. So it's just a wee taster session. We've got a wee quiz at the end as well, and hopefully we're going to have a wee tie-in with one of our other groups in one of the other areas of Scotland. So I'll pass it on to Jim, our coordinator, to take things forward.
Thanks very much, Kenneth. Welcome everybody. It's sort of a taster section, but in fact what we really want to do today is raise awareness of who we are and what we do. For those of you who don't know, Sporting Memories has existed for about 10 years Britain-wide, but the Scotland operation, which of course, as my colleagues will testify, is by far and away the most successful part of the organisation, has existed for about 5 years. And we meet on a weekly basis for conversation, quizzes, mainly for laughs if we can manage it, and we look to help people with dementia, social isolation, loneliness, and just guys who like to get together and have a chat about sport in general. So what you're going to get at each of your tables is a wee flavour of the kind of thing that we do. Most importantly, at the end, a cup of tea and a cup of coffee. That's probably one of the most important parts of what we do. So I hope in the course of the afternoon you'll get a flavour of what we do, and you'll feel at the end of it you want to volunteer, come and join us as a member, maybe even go away and start your own group. So that's the hope. But it's really nice to see everybody, and thanks all of you for coming. At the group at Pollok Hub, we've got a tie-up with, obviously, the walking footballers. So I'd like Simon, I don't know whether this could turn into a speechifying exercise, but if Simon can keep his comments to maybe 25 minutes, I'd like to hear from Simon.
That was my talk. Guys, the reason I'm speaking is simply because we're here at Pollok United, and there's a natural tie-up with the Sporting Memories. When I met Jim, we realised right away that there was something in common, and we've got people from men's sheds and lots of groups here today because we're all in the same ballpark, if you like, providing a service for the community. And what Jim said there about the coffee and tea is absolutely right. It's the same with the walking football. We discovered that through COVID, that the biggest part of it was the socialisation that we get after the game, and it's the same with all these organisations. So hopefully you'll get a wee flavour of that today, a wee flavour of how the memory session themselves work, and it will be a wee flavour because there's not only one table and people know each other and there's a bond forms there. I think an important part of that is that like every men's shed I would imagine, and like every walking football group, every memory session evolves in its own way, depending on the characters that are there, the geography, the culture, and what their interests are. So it's just to give you a wee idea of that, and I'm really thanking Pollok United for hosting us today, who started a walking football group a couple of years ago and now have moved on to compete in competitions and whatnot, and that's been repeated all over the country, the same as... David, would you say a couple of words about men's sheds, because I've mentioned it twice now. God says I don't know anything I'm talking about. Yeah, on you go. Just stay there, I think.
Right, good afternoon, folks. I'm a guy that's starting watching football all the time. But seriously, I'm the chairman of the Scottish Benchers Association. The reason I'm on here today is to try and do some sort of link up. Because you're quite right in what you say, the three groups are all got the same objective. And that's giving guys somewhere to go. This, to me, is the most important part. Football is important, don't understand me, I agree 100%. Sitting here and with a camaraderie and a cup of coffee, a cup of tea. We've got 130 sheds open throughout Scotland, with another 70 just about to open. I say about to open, there's groups been formed, and they're actually looking for premises at the moment. So what a main shed is, what you want to make it, quite frankly. Some of them do woodwork, some of them do model building, some of them do some sports, there's music rooms, there's all sorts of things. But the main thing is, it's what you want to do. When you come in, nobody tells you what to do. What they do is they ask you what you would like to do. And we try our best to create a plan. But that's why I'm here today, because as I say, we have quite a few. I will leave some Scottish Benchers leaflets, not as a recruitment drive, but if you want to, we look at it in the back of the website, go onto it and there'll be a button that says find a shed. Click onto it. But in your own postcode, let's say a 10-mile radius, and it will show you every shed within that area. And please feel free. Likewise, the main thing for a shed is the kitchen. That's where the kettle is, and that's where the banter and the chat takes place. So please come along and leave me. I don't care which shed you're into. I can say quite honestly, you may be most welcome. So with that,
Thanks very much, David. Thank you.
I permitted to mention the special guest we have with us today. Tom Boyd, I think everyone will know. Ex-Scotland, ex-Celtic captain. Anybody going to claim not to know Tom Boyd? He's been a marvellous supporter of...
That's what I
You Spanish, you'll do. He's been a marvellous supporter of Sporting Memories, given generously of his time, particularly to our group of Blantyre, and I know that he's also a very great supporter of Lothian football. He presented trophies at Tony Glen. So,
And he's a Pollok player, he just doesn't know that yet. He's here again to sign up today, that's why he's here.
seen me in the last Legends game.
welcome Tom Boyd. I'm
Yeah.
sure that
So, men's sheds, we've got Jim Orr from Football Memories Scotland as well. There's lots going on. What I'm very conscious of in this sector, if you like, is those links so that we've not got people doing their own thing round the corner from each other. It's about networking, it's about working together, it's about maximising the potential that it's all got when it put it together. On that top, Glasgow Life, who I work for and whose session we've just had outside. By the way, you said there about taking it seriously, the football. Out there, it's the most serious thing on the planet. Certainly when we come in here, the banter starts. Glasgow Life have started sessions during the week. Drew's here, who started them off along with Ricky. Ricky, would you tell us in a minute or two about the sessions you run for Alzheimer's and Parkinson's?
Yep, great. I'm a coach with Glasgow Life. On a Wednesday, we run a 2-hour session for our dementia colleagues. We get an hour or so of sport, of kicking a ball about, and then we get an hour football memories. And that goes down an absolute treat. I've got to say thanks to my volunteers, Davey and Jim, who helped greatly with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant guys with that. Okay.
Yeah, brilliant, Ricky,
Yep.
thank you. And the Parkinson's team had a team in the Scottish Cup.
Yeah.
They put a team into the Scottish Cup Festival as well. So, and ladies football, I need to mention ladies walking football before I finish, because we've now started a Pollok ladies on a Friday morning, and Giffnut ladies, got a few Giffnut folk about, Jim, you especially. The Giffnut ladies, you play for Giffnut ladies?
Yeah. Well, no, I was sub last week.
They won the ladies Scottish Cup as well. So there's loads going on with walking football, but today is about sporting memories and how after the game, stuff we can do that's of use in the community and round about. All right, Jim?
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
Listen, we've got on our tables, we're going to do a wee link up in 10 minutes or so by satellite.
And if it doesn't work,
By satellite to that far-flung place, David.
Hook eye.
It's Stornaway, where we've recently started a group, and there's a fantastic connection, which is David Kinnear, Stornaway man, Stephen man.
Stephen Monroe.
Yes,
I'm the government
say you are the great, you're the link.
All right, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
David attended both at Stornaway and at Corker Hill, and we're going to link up with the guy that's organised the.
Most famous for the Black Pudding.
He's taking a black pudding order today as well, by the way, before you leave.
So in the meantime, have a wee look at the stuff that's on your tables. See if you can identify, just have a chat among yourselves about it, see if you can identify the pictures. The trick with the replay cards is don't turn them over until you think it's moving the eyes. That's the man.
Jim, the answers are current concealed answers.
In the 40s, in the cards first. Do the cards first. Cards first.
For the runner, right? It's the Scottish guy. Is it Stephen? Yeah, it's definitely it. Have you looked? It's not Stephen Ben.
David, this is for your scrapbook. So there's a bike bus. It's
So these two here, I'm not looking at the back of it. If you look at the back, the colours are different. It's a dogger. It's like this. I didn't see it's the same damage up. You know that? You want to tell us the answer?
So we're trying to see you now.
Can you not see us?
Look at you.
Oh, you've got a little dark.
Oh, we need to put the light on. I think.
Oh, I'm half blind anyway.
You're referee.
Is that a bit better? Can you see us now?
Aye.
Excellent.
Robbie, we look better than that.
So this on the screen is Stephen and what was Stephen and
Robbie.
Robbie, this is Robbie.
Robbie joining us from Stornaway. And the reason that we've got them on, as Jim alluded to earlier, is our link with Stornaway Dave over here, who has been along to the Sporting Memories group that we've just started up in Stornaway. So Stephen's on with Robbie just to kind of let us know how it's going. So I've got a couple of questions for them just to kind of get the conversation started. It was probably back, early 2021 maybe, Stephen, when we first
Yeah,
met.
yeah.
On one of our famous Zoom meetings. And I think it was fair to say at that kind of session that we did that Sporting Memories kind of grabbed our attention and thought it would be something that would work on Lewis. So my first question, Stephen, is what was it about Sporting Memories that kind of captured your imagination and thought this is going to work for me up in Lewis?
For me, it was the fact that we could get wealth of knowledge within the room to talk about sporting achievements and stuff from the past, sporting memories, and also the introduction to physical activity, whether it was the exercise or the boccia or New Age curling. The Stornaway Club that we're running is in the bowling club up in Stornaway, so our long shot would be to try and get people out bowling, participating in that sport. That was my initial thing to it.
And how's it been setting up the group? Has it been a challenge? Has it been quite easy to get people along? Tell us how it's been getting it
Well, it's
on.
been a challenge initially. The first group we had, we had at 7, I think, and Robbie was one of the first ones, Elizabeth Day. But we saw the numbers the last time was down to 3. But one of these guys saw the door of the bowling club open, decided what to nosy of what was going on, stuck his nose through the door, and well, Dave will say it was fortunate. I might say it's unfortunate that he was a Rangers fan. So Dave was and everyone ready to get him involved in that. But yeah, no, it's been up and down. But Rocking Gear's got loads of good stories about it.
What's it been like for you, Robbie? What's been the highlight for you?
It's okay, you know, there's not that many coming yet, but eventually it'll be okay, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure you know
Yeah,
lots of
people
people.
coming. Eh?
So I'm sure you know lots of people that you can
Not
get along.
one island, I don't belong to England.
Where are you from?
Eh?
Where are you from?
You don't know where I'm, see, that's why I told you wouldn't know where I was from. Don't speak.
Oh, I don't hear right.
Goldspike.
Yeah, I told you that the bloody.
That's just me. That's just me.
That must be Dingle when Steve's Dingle.
Right. Everybody else in the room knows.
Say where I'm going up golf course, if you know where that is.
Yeah, I know where that is. So when's the next meeting then? When's Wednesday?
We'll be meeting again on the 27th of September.
Yeah.
But that's when the Stornaway group meets, but we've been doing trial sessions around the communities. So we've been in a little village in Pollok, just down from where Dave stays, and Robbie. And then on Saturday we're going to Robbie's Silver Darlings farm in Locks. And then we've got another one to go out to another group over in Arianheim in October. So we're just gonna try and establish a Stornaway group and then do little taster sessions around all the villages to try and create interest.
Yeah, spread the word. And when we first chatted as well, there was going to be a Sporting Memories group, perhaps in Uist, in Barra maybe?
Yeah, well, hopefully the sort of the spanner get thrown in that with Kevin, who's a big part of setting this up, and he's left that job down in Uist and Barra, so I'm going to have to try and get hold of him once he settles in to hopefully re-establish it. You know?
Yeah. So just to finish, obviously Sporting Memories groups are for anybody and everybody. So how would you sell a Sporting Memories group in Stornaway for anyone that maybe wants to come along when they're visiting the island?
It's a laugh, you know, get plenty of stories, and it's not just because Dave's in his Rangers cup, it's not just football stories. I think the last time Robbie got a wealth of knowledge here of all different sports. I think we had a chat about golf. The last time, the difference in the size of the golf balls compared to now when Robbie played. And there's so I think it's just come along and join the fun and share your stories.
Lovely, lovely. We do, Jim's just had a word in my ear there to ask if there's any Celtic supporters in the island, because we've got a Celtic resident with us today.
Right, there's loads of them.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
The whole family.
You don't sound too impressed with that, Robbie.
We don't usually let Dave in when his Rangers top on.
You're not speaking to any other two clubs here. One's up in the other's Ross County.
Well, you won't want to meet Tom Boyd then.
Yeah. We've got Tom Boyd with us today, guys, so.
You're right, Stephen. Yeah.
Nice one.
There we go.
Very good.
There we go. Scotland, like, oh, there's Dave.
Don't be happy anything new. Just watch me before you get there. Let's see our steps. I'll take
Got it. He's picked up a friendly for them. Got a friendly.
Oh, that's Dave's. Yeah, absolutely. I think now that we're kind of up and running here at Corporate Hill, I think we're going to do a bit of an exchange
What's that? Any
programme.
any messages?
That's what I'm on, Steve. Look at this.
Yeah, we'll definitely arrange a visit. Corporate Hill, come up here, and you guys can come down here wherever you can. So.
Sounds good.
That's a good idea.
Absolutely, absolutely. It'll be good to see you. So yeah, I think it's brilliant that we've got Sporting Memories clubs happening right across the country. Stephen's the first example of showing us just that we can take Sporting Memories absolutely anywhere, and it's great to have them here. So you're more than welcome if you're ever having a visit up the road. They'll be more than happy to have you. So yeah, we just thank Stephen and Robbie for
Thanks, guys.
joining us. And you're more than welcome to stay, guys, for the rest of the chat if you want to stay at your computer. I don't know what we're doing. Do you want to hang around?
We've got a quiz coming up, don't we?
Oh yeah, we've got a quiz coming up, so if you want to hang around, it's up to you.
Yeah, from our side, we can stay at Park and we're all good.
Yep.
Yeah, where people come along, so.
How many are there?
Oh, we've got about.
Mark down.
This is not a normal session, I should say. This is a special event, Robbie, but there's about 30 of us here today. Yeah, everyone's got a story to tell, so hang around, take part in the quiz, see what happens.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks again.
Thanks for joining.
Thanks.
Right, next up, David Denham.
Right, I've got a musical question related to sporting themes to the event. People will get paid for us. I'm writing this down and answers. Then I'll follow up a supplementary sport question. We talk maybe outside a film set for the music. Before we go, right. Actually, before we start, I've got a quick question for Tom Boyd. This, Tom, is a Clyde Generations shirt. It was an initiative launched with the club 5 or 6 years ago, where you supporters paid to get their names on this sort of shirt. It weighs about £20,000, it's quite successful. One of your international teammates has got their name in this. I'll give you one guess who that would be.
Played for Clyde, David.
I'm saying what I'm saying. He's an international teammate. He's an international teammate. I'm pretty sure. Yes, he played for Clyde.
A wee clue. It's a trick question.
It's not a trick question.
Is it a wee guy?
I'm asking Tom Boyd the question.
I'm trying to help him.
Give her these initials.
He played with Chelsea as well.
So did I. I'm not for that long, but enough, but it's we Pat Nevin.
Pat Nevin. Pass that to another club. Tell yourself, Tommy. Pass that to another club. Right, I'll launch into the music question. Right,
I'll need the answer for them all.
Right, the first one is the skiing question. It will be held in Paris, France.
One many years there, was it? We got a special guest table got to win, hasn't it? You know, or he might not come back.
Right, the golf question, the British Open will be held at the Royal Liverpool Golf Club. Better known as, what's it better known as? That's correct. I think one is, of course, he's won 3 Grand Slams, and many finals has he been in?
11. You said 11.
11 is the correct answer.
So we got that right.
How do you know that?
Again, there's 3 questions. Which country has won the most Cricket World Cups? So you can guess the country and guess how many times. Half point for each.
Oh, how old in number?
Aye.
No,
Anyway, it was Australia with 5 victories.
So we got that right. We got that right as well.
You get half point if you
We're
win.
consistently right anyway.
The World Championships, the show jumping World Championships we did last month with Denmark.
We said.
And I've told you the more recent question. Lewis Hamilton's won the championship 7 times.
Okay, we got that.
Total of story. Well done, Davey.
Don't give up on your day job.
When's the Olympics? When's the Olympics?
Have to suffer that again.
Davey, is anybody going to volunteer what the scores have had at the various tables?
Aye. Well, we'll elect a foreman for each table,
Yeah,
and then we'll
yeah.
sort of do.
What did the Clyde table go on?
We'd be 20.
Oh, well,
Come on, some questions about your
Tommy's still right. Tommy's still right.
what about the Rangers table?
We got the was that 24? No, 4.
What about Thistle table?
Does that mean Rangers won 4-0?
What about the Queen's Park?
How did we get on Stornaway?
We've got 7.
You can lie for us.
Many questions did you get? Many questions did you get?
We got them all right.
The Split Cup this year.
We lost it.
Oh, I think we should declare Stornaway the winners then, eh? We need to get them all right.
Well, must be.
Well done, Stornaway.
There's nothing on you.
Oh no, it might not about anything.
Hey, Jim.
Right, listen guys, not that much more time left, but the guys from each table are going to go round with the photographs from, just circulate the photographs rather than everybody moving their seat.
They're done.
So it's done, right, so you've got a new set of photographs to have a look at and discuss and whatever. Guess who they are.
Have you done all right? Yes. And you don't get to a table at times for 3 weeks.
Sorry guys, I didn't realise it was in the car.
Chris, what's that? It's going to be hot.
Yes. Showing yourself. Maybe somebody like Willie McPhee from Motherwell or something like that, no? Willie McPhee, for centre half.
No, I'm not getting them. So many teams did you play for in your career? My career, my teams, I played with Motherwell. Left in '91 when we won the cup. My last game was Hampden, 4-3, 1991, 4-3 against Dundee. 4-3 against Dundee United.
Motherwell town went daft that.
Oh, they did. I know.
There for about 8 hours.
It was a great achievement for a club like Motherwell. You know,
Maxwell, Ali Maxwell.
Ali was that was the thing about Ali Maxwell, right? The story was, right, he got injured by John Clark. You remember John Clark was a big boy, very stout boy, solid boy. He came up for a corner and he caught Ali. He wasn't getting anywhere near the ball. Ali came up to catch it and he done some of his, what I thought was just a couple of wee ribs. So Ali got up. So I didn't realise how bad he was. Now in that game, in the last minute of normal time, we lost a goal. Ali was a wee bit slow coming up his line, but I was taking all the goal kicks. He couldn't take a goal, couldn't kick the ball. And so he was a wee bit slow. I'm actually slagging Alistair for no coming off his line, not realising how bad the injured, because at full time, after extra time, we were not the one to stay the cup. He get rushed to hospital. His medals and everything were left in the door. Everything that he had was left in there. Had to rush to hospital. He got a burst spleen within the game, and it was playing on. It was at the time you talk about all the substitutes we got. You only had 2 substitutes, and one of those substitutes was Colin O'Neill. Colin O'Neill was not fit. We didn't have a goalkeeper these days. I don't know why we didn't. Most managers did have 2 substitutes. So from that point of view, that was Spain had 1 substitute in that game, and one of the other ones was Stevie Kirk. The story about that was Stevie Kirk was our substitute goalkeeper. If MD get injured, he would come on, which he had done. He played in a game against Hearts at Tynecastle and saved a penalty. And he was a good goalkeeper, but a better, we called him Super Sub. He was fantastic for us. Scored in every round in that cup run that we had, Stephen. Yeah, he was a great player for us. So Alistair was, I'm shouting at him, giving him dogs abuse for not coming out for the ball.
Did he not steal him? Just what?
Alistair Maxwell? No, I think he actually was put out of the game because at that time the registration, the club held, it was before the Bosman, and the club held the registration. So him and Craig had left to go to Chelsea, but Alistair Maxwell and Craig Patterson were still held, they couldn't play anymore. And I think eventually Alistair got his move to Rangers, but it was like a few months after the start of the season. He couldn't get it right away, so it was a few months. So that was it. Chelsea was the next team, then Celtic, and then Blokes against Scotland.
So now you're a commentator on Celtic TV then?
I do a wee bit, yes, I slag referees, as everybody I think probably hears me saying. You enjoy yourself on that. You get carried away with yourself as a supporter, you should do. What, in terms if you're watching your own team, you know what I mean? You get carried away.
Could you take a picture?
I've got plenty here. You know what I do, no problem.
Well, send it to all the family.
Right, okay.
Thank you. You were Celtic to football.
I know, I had a couple of good games. I remember Scotland qualifying for a World Cup, didn't they?
Yeah.
I won't talk about the winning goal in the first game. I scored the winner.
1 minute left on our Zoom. The guys need to go, so everybody wants to go.
All right, okay. Well, thank you for Are you all from this area? Or? I didn't know too much about it in terms of, I know one of my nephews went to Cardonald College and they stay in Cardonald, so that never really came up this area and stuff, you know, so it's good. And you teams of support, do you support the team?
Dundee for the Sons.
Dundee, is it?
I used to support the Old Rangers, but I probably watched Peterborough United.
Peterborough? So you go down there a lot? Why Peterborough?
I was going to Ipswich and I met Barry Fry at the train station.
Right, okay.
Back to Peterborough that night.
Don't tell him to watch a YouTube video. We need an extra view.
Are you on it? Aye.
And the next day, I was staying in Peterborough overnight. Over at the stadium. And I was doing this corridor to the shop. And this door was wide open and Barry Fry was sitting in the desk. And I says, "All right, Barry, how you doing?" He went, "Come here." He says, "Come in." There was two guys sitting. He says, "I met this in the train station last night on Ipswich." And he says, "How long are you here for?" I went, "A couple of hours." He says, "Right, no problem. This boy can do." He's take this boy a tour of the stadium and then take him up for his lunch before he was back to Glasgow. So that was coming in.
So you've been, aye.
15 years ago.
Because Barry Fry was a while ago, wasn't he? Did it? Oh, that's dedication. That's commitment, isn't it?
You're trained for about 130 quid.
What about that one now that obviously Rangers are at the game? That some supporters, I'm sure, would have booked up for Napoli to go over there and they'll need to cancel it now.
They're not allowing the Napoli fans in the Irish.
I know.
Rangers fans having to go to Napoli.
But I can easily see how they can do that here where Napoli supporters will probably just book to Tuesday and then head home. But Rangers supporters, do you want to go and see your team in Europe? Especially with Rangers doing so well last year. I'll see you later. Nice meeting you. See you. No, so you'd expect that to get. But anyway, that's a decision to make, you know. I'm sure there'll be a lot of happy supporters that are missing out that want to go to these places. And that's all they prefer to go. Probably some of them just prefer going abroad.
I was reading a thing on Twitter. All the Rangers fans are picking up about it.
Aye, well, exactly. And they'll not get a refund for any of that, won't they? They might get a refund in the ticket, but no on anything else.
I thought they were allowing the ones that have already pre-booked to go. They must have just changed it.
Right, okay. They changing their mind maybe?
The Queen's. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay, that's on Tuesday, yeah.
All of that, there's so many things.
I don't know. Anyway.
Wasted had the biggest say in this.
I know, it's I was through at North Berwick today and there's Navy and all that going up and down. Yeah, so
it's all changed. So what did you go to Chelsea?
Chelsea was 91 when the year we won the cup final. It was, aye.
It wasn't it?
It was almost like Celtic Park because they had a big track round it. Right, so it was a big track round it, the shed ends, they call it, the end and stuff, you know. Trying to think, it was there, Stevie Clark was there when it was playing. The Scotland manager just now, he played for them. Vinnie Jones, Andy Townsend, Kerry Dixon, I'm trying to remember names, Dave Besson, the goalkeeper, played by Wimbledon.
Does Dixon come from Arsenal?
No, this was a big tall forward. I think he brought one England cap or something.
Did you enjoy yourself down there?
It was great. It wasn't there long enough. I was only there 6 months. My last game for Chelsea was a win at Liverpool, and I knew nothing about it. There was no inclination. And the reason why I got a move after Celtic supporter was because Tony Cascarino was so bad at Celtic. They wanted rid of him. And obviously had just left Motherwell and see if they could go, and it was just a swap deal. But I knew nothing. There was no thing of, there's an interest in Celtic. I thought that move was lost. And I was leaving Motherwell, I thought maybe Celtic would come in for that time, didn't happen. So, well, there you go.
Where did you go after Chelsea?
I came up to Celtic, I came back home, and I stayed at Celtic for 11 years. That was me.
How long were you captain?
6 years. Paul Lambert then took over. There was a spell when I was in the team, and then the following season, I was a club captain. As Paul Lambert was more, I was going to be older and on the fringes of things. So then.
So do you still live in Lanarkshire?
Bodo, I was in Bodo. I've come up there from when I joined Celtic '92. That's where I stayed. Well, we know the area. I'm from Grimsby, just a couple of miles up the road. My wife's from Livingston originally, so Bodo was an obvious choice for us. And it's great. It was only 10 minutes at the Celtic Park in Barrowfield, the training ground. It's a wee bit longer at the Lennoxtown. I know Lennoxtown's a wee bit longer. So we enjoyed this football. I love it. Still, as everybody would say, you still love to be playing just now, and you love the riches that they get just now. You know, you get out in England and phenomenal. It's unbelievable. It's obscene. It's obscene, basically. You know, when you think of the standard of living, it's absolutely obscene.
When I was young, I lived in Millsill.
Oh yeah.
Billy McNeil lived over the back. We lived in the council house. We delivered milk to Jimmy Johnson, and we'd actually bought his own house then.
I'm going to be putting a wee statue up for Billy soon. This year, end of this year sometime. At the cross.
Have some crap.
Aye, just at the cross. There's a wee grass there or something trees there. Right outside the side of the church, yes. Right beside it. So hopefully he'll be there.
I was remarking, I passed the
You need to watch because the Crown Bar's just along the road and all that.
Hold the Crown Bar one time, it's the biggest.
That before John Beaton got in here, was he a member of
It'll just, you keep up on it.
All right, okay.
That's where everything leaves.
That's right, that's it. So we see big colours that leave.
They wasted last week. So they wasted the crosswalk. Oh, really?
Right, okay, I know what you mean. It's all changed now, isn't it? It's all changed, I know. It's a lot, they think they're doing good, but it just ruins it. You know, little villages, towns like that, you know. No problem. Nice meeting you. And I'm going to see. I'll see a picture myself. I don't know if I can get.
You've got a picture taken of it.
Aye. Did it come out alright? You check it?
Aye, it's fine. You could have tucked my belly out for me, Ken. You could have tucked my belly out. Aye. Yeah. There you go. Aye, really good player. I'm going to get myself to play out myself. He's not wearing glasses.
That's true, aye. I can name, there's Reggie Blinker. Can I name them all at the bottom there? That gives me a wee clue. Right, of course, I'll get them. Right, so who else you want me to name? I'm not looking up.
Big Pierre's there, I know.
Larson's a dead giveaway.
That's an easy one. You get Big Pierre, aye.
Alan Stubbs. See if you like this. His hair's a wee bit darker on that than when he said that's Pierre. But
Yeah, that's him.
that'll be Lennon. Neil Lennon. Paul McStay. Yeah, that's Pollok Stadium. Real, aye. That's something, aye. Alan Thompson. I can see it now when you see it. Petrov. That's Petrov. There we go. Good to get in. No, that's such a. John Collins with the back here. He's got the cheeks and the eyes. He's like that, though. He's still got his six pack and all that. Honest, I saw him put a big bum in your face there. I know.
I'm getting your picture and send it to my daughter.
I've been there.
I was telling the boy earlier on, he got here.
Where'd you blink him?
Through my mate. Celtic sends a team every year.
Oh, right.
Last 25 years. They won the first one, so they invited it. I think they went private. But it's like, Real Madrid, Barcelona.
Some teams are.
Some teams are. They beat Inter Milan 1 in the final. It's brilliant. Because I go to Rome, my mate, come out, so we always get in. Oh, brilliant. Paul McDavid takes into the office and he's the Celtic
Lunges used to have people if you lunge number 7 or you get home it's a good scene. There's a lot of these cafe over there. I'm in the mall, honestly, I do match day stuff, hospitality. But you try and get in the mall, get in the boardroom and stuff, you know, so
they called me there to have a drink. Aye. He was starting with weak course and one of the goalkeepers.
Big boys, Martin is that as well. He came to the New support. Anyway, I'll go with you. Yes. To drive. He's not well. Okay. No problem. Make his day. I know, I've seen that big blood check. Thank you very much.
I'm always amazed when you go to my bag, you know?
You can be my sound boy. Right. Take that. I'll just speak about it.
See, that for France, it dropped. What's going on in France? They won the turn 2-1. And it didn't go beyond that. They're undefeated in Europe. The most Scottish team undefeated in Europe.
So what a record that is, that's what you boast about, isn't it?
And also, they held the Scottish Cup the longest. 1930.
Is that right?
That's through the Warriors or something. Aye. That's quality. Could be trivia questions. That could be trivia questions, right?
That's one of the first things as a Christ supporter. It's the longest, you know.
It's a fair one. There would be a few heats were going like that and roll up when you get that.
It's amazing the memorabilia Anthony like.
Oh, it's probably looking back into it. See something you recognise and obviously that's fair and sad.
It's absolutely incredible. You hold a few records yourself and you'll throw up a lot of these things.
I've played one of the Scottish centenary. I'm going to play the first centenary.
Grew up in Coltness.
Oh yeah.
All from Ireland's trainer. He's the answer player. It's not like Tommy McKenzie. His brother stayed at Martin McKenzie.
I started playing in 88, and then I think that's from probably 81. He must have been one of the first time. I was, yeah, at that time. In fact, there was a game we played in the Wednesday night. I was in Monday. The groundsman. Oh, I never saw the groundsman. I never saw the groundsman. He was actually, I think he was no well, so I had to cut the groundsman in the pitch. and I was playing that night.
That's amazing.
And I actually get man in my, I think it felt so we get beat 2-0, I think, 2-0, so I was just in practice. So to go up to the boardroom to get my presentation with pistol, so to borrow a jacket for somebody, a tie for somebody, a pair of trousers. So I've got, I'll mix and match, get up to this kind of thing. No, it's work. I've got a picture of me. But that just shows you the difference there in terms of what you did way back as kids, and your training to what you're getting now. Everybody's all just geared towards fitness. It's the great rain right off.
I know, but I'm fighting to say one of the big final shots was a racing on it. And the children need these wee parks.
I know. Yes,
Yeah, the ones in Eastern Brighton are, yeah.
Oh, you're amazing.
well, you see all the old pitches now, and it's not us. They're all the grass and the red. They're all currently grass, and they're all getting
You
new.
hear the modern football, see the away strip, every team has an away strip. When's the last time you've seen Celtic play with white boots and have the other strips?
It's money.
I know.
Well, it's not getting away strip, they get 3 strips. You get a B strip and a
They want to spend the away strip, spend it somewhere else.
as well, they've got that as well. I know that game I'd be standing over here. That game up was Roy Keane's and Roy Keane's debut, wasn't it?
Me and my girlfriend, and the tickets were right down the very bottom of the kind of I just sold them, and I watched it on TV. I always felt glad if we're there. My girlfriend,
Yes, aye. 2-0 was one. 2-1 we scored at one. Just the boys away, the Chinese boy played a good job, maybe the other place.
dragging that since she played great before. It was a team, obviously.
Yeah. And there's some good players in there. Aye. Some good players in there too. And probably deserve the victory. When did you sign for Motherwell? When did you sign for yourself? Because the professional terms are signed in 83. How many appearances did you have? 250 or something? You sure not 52? How many goals did you got? I think it was about 6. Correct, 6. And you went to choose for Celtic. So, you went to Chelsea, how many appearances? 26. 23. My God, you
So, I'm not going to go for it. We did get elected freedom last night. What would I be at Chelsea?
What
would not be at Chelsea? Because I probably didn't realise.
Nothing that normal at Chelsea was a chance to get back to Scotland.
To Gasparino.
I was a Celtic supporter.
It just says he didn't really say
Right, because I was playing in the team, as I said, 20 odd games, that was just at the start of the season. But I wasn't there signing for the manager. The manager came in after me, I'd signed at the end of the season. There's a boy called Bobby Campbell, he left. And so Ken Bates was the chairman, and the assistant was Gwen Williams, so he was a caretaker. They signed it, because it was still in the process. So then I was signed as a player. Then the manager came in, and the manager that came in was Ian Portfield. And the Aberdeen manager scored the goal for Sunderland in the final. So he's the manager. Then when we were getting beat at times, they would go for a back 4 or back 3 and they'd take me off. No, I wasn't in the don't get me wrong, that's nothing.
You're playing okay.
Right, I was playing fine, but my last game was a victory at Anfield at Liverpool. We beat Liverpool at Anfield and Chelsea, and so when the manager called in on the Tuesday, I had no clue that this was coming up. And well, for me, I went, right, okay, stay up there. There's no talking, I'm signing, that's it. That's got to be the best ever
It
score.
was a good move for you, obviously.
For Celtic got shot at Cascarino. Right, so 100% record just about there. So far, right? How many appearances with Celtic? Now that's the one that we begs, and I think it's either on that one it'll be 360, 400, 428 appearances. That's what it says. Well, that must have been done in 1997. 1997. From 92 to 95. Oh, look at the street, that's 94, 95 season, that's it. I know, but it says 92 to 95. Celtic, 128. How many goals you get? 2 about total for Celtic. And Celtic got Rangers down the road. You chipped the ball over the right back. That would be me. That would be you. I remember running down the line, this is when we shot in the road, and we were 1-0 up, lost the score early on. And we couldn't get the second goal. We dominated the game, talked about the chance. But just at the end, about 12 minutes to go, maybe 18 minutes ago, I'm running up the line, I could hear somebody on me. And as I'm running up the line, the fans were giving me gestures of, Tom, could you please play the ball a little bit quick? I'm still waiting. We Jackie McNamara was up here, so we didn't him getting the better of Alan Preston. Perhaps. St Johnson, that's right. So he was playing, Biscuits they call him, he was playing, so we Jackie just get the better. So I think everybody saw Howard in the middle, I didn't see him, Jackie, so the big foreigner, Kerry Oakley that played for St Johnson, it was a midfielder, big tall boy, he was catching up with me. The crowd, I know in certain times they're telling me, Tom, could you get that ball up there? So I managed to play it up to Jackie, and it was a good goal, so the rest is history.
Remember, I went to see Celtic in Barcelona, and I also seen them in
2012,
No, before that, I might have
well, we played them before that, we played them a couple of times, in fact, we played them that many times.
Was it the time when you were going out on the big Lilos and football?
Oh, that was, the one was 2004 and stuff like that. We did that a year after 2003 when we got to the final in Barcelona, in Seville. We done that when we were playing the Rangers. We were playing there then. It was 50 that night.
So you kept in the stadium at AC Milan for an hour or something after but then they clapped us all down
I need to set up. No, it was Big Gab Douglas been setting up, but it was Bobo's fault. The game, Big Gab was at the secondary court and stuff like that. I get the building, they went up separate. So the referee came in and said, it was neither, it was David Marshall. I think it was David Marshall. So you're always a supporter? But then it was David Marshall over to the sunlight. 1-0, David was outstanding. And that way, so that's why that was a set hold. Just shows a wee bit of faith. I did very well. I was just playing it when I used to play. But it's maybe my memory not quite right there, I don't know.
When you take the walk, that's what I like Gordon Smith. When you take the walk, that's what I like, because it's a lot, isn't it?
I was been there a couple of times, that's the thing that you said, Jim, sorry, that I would along to see them to present the trophies. And I don't know, there's no walking involved at all. There's no walking, and it's very physical.
I sweat certainly until the Glen games. I'm nothing like the games he's playing. The very circumspect, you really walk, I mean, the referee's calling it your there. Everyone's playing dead safe, it's dead square. The games they played it with.
That's the first time I've watched the games. It's the first time I've watched the games and gone, sorry, this should change in sprinting football because I wasn't even jogging. I was
I walked up with a total misnomer. You like 3 touches, that's the level in for everybody. 3 touches, you know.
I meant to walk in the race, of course, and you always wonder now, so strict rule of that.
Very strict rules, yeah.
Heel in your foot, there's to be a point of contact with him.
You want to have a heel and a toe.
I still watch them, they look as though they're sprinting, don't they?
They're asking referees to sort of distinguish, is that walking, is that running? And the referee can't have to make any decisions. It's totally subjective. There's a lot of really bad decisions. And you know that if we walk the fences in one game, right, these are friendly.
Oh, no, I thought you just get sent off,
no, it's...
Oh, you got a sin bin or something?
No, they really need a sin bin. It's not a dirty game, there's too many physical. It's great sort of...
What was the game I watched? I don't know, Michael. How many you got? got another time.
I think it's really strict rules as well, the refereeing, it's strict.
I look very physical.
Did you to medal collection move on? I'm just kind of.
Oh, I can't imagine.
It's not very exciting.
You must really miss it though, Tom.
You'd rather still be playing and make memories.
Still play a top flight of six then?
No, nothing. I've never played banks from the start. I played some legends matches and all that.
You're the injury one, you got tired then, no?
Well, now I think my hip's starting to get a wee bit achy. And I've stopped jogging. I used to keep the weight off me, I would go pounding a treadmill. Because it was quicker to burn off the calories. So now I've stopped that. I'll get my bike and I'll get walking because I've got an Arctic challenge up. I'm going to the Arctic today, the Arctic challenge. So I'm going to get fit for that. Not you need fit, I'll be fit enough.
You can get caught, can you sign that?
Yes, no problem.
Well, you need to tell me what your weight was in 1956.
What was it?
What your weight was in 1956.
1956, 86.
No, no,
96.
1996.
1996, my weight would have been 12 stone.
Oh, you're less than that.
Listen then.
I'm really sorry to bring any of
You're 11 stone.
to an
Well,
end.
that's when I came out the room.
Listen, I just want to quickly thank Tom Boyd again for coming. Steve Stewart.
Thank you.
James, you want to share, you know? Jamesy. Anybody else? Now listen, thanks to everybody that's given their time and the effort to organise this. I've certainly had a great time. I hope you all have as well.
Yeah.
Go away.
Where do you want to swear, Tom?
Thank you very much.
I look after. I can
We'll make it next to the talking and
I love it. I love it.